Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Lane. Hey Mims.
What's up?
Are we ready to get started talking about love during lockup?
Once these
Season
people,
5, episode 29.
once they hit the like button, y'all go ahead and hit the like button. I see you guys are in here. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. And I'm so excited. I have almost 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. Super happy and super excited about that.
She just wanted to do it today because she got her hair done.
Okay,
That's
I got
why.
my hair done. And y'all are lucky to see me with my hair done because it's not like this all the time. This will not be a, a regular thing. Tomorrow's gonna look way different. So.
This is crazy. I've only had one drink and I'm red and I'm black, and that's super hard.
Do you get red when you drink?
You don't see this?
Well,
This
I
is
see you
weird.
now, but I've never seen it before.
I
I
don't
think it's
know.
like an Asian thing.
Oh, my Asian friend does. He
All
does.
my Asian friends get red when they drink, like get red in the face. I don't know.
I don't
You
know.
haven't done your 23 and me yet, so we don't know.
I'm not. I think I'm adopted. Remember when I told mommy that and she slapped my mom slapped the shit out of me. I was basically Khloe Kardashian. I was like, I don't feel like I look like any of y'all. And my
Oh,
mom,
I was actually hoping it was me, and then I got my 23 and me back, and I saw that me and our other sister, had some sort of connection. So I was like, darn.
she slapped me. Remember when I said I think she did something and I said, yes, mommy dearest. Oh, she beat the hell out of me. She beat the hell out of me that day. Okay. Sorry. Let's get to the prisoners.
That's another show.
Prisoners.
Okay, so this episode of Love During Lockup is Rescue Me from the Castle. And as usual, they started with Ayana and Jamal. I don't know why they always start with Ayana and Jamal, but they do. But let me put their picture up for those of you who don't remember them by name. Ah. Okay, so this is Ayana and Jamal.
Because she's a damn fool. That's why they start with her. Because don't she look like our cousin Peanut?
A little bit. I think she's kind of cute though, but it's just when she opens her mouth and starts talking and spewing all that ignorance that I'm thinking like, ugh. Like I cringe every time she opens her mouth because she's gonna say something that's just cringe-worthy.
She looks like Peanut. I can't not see it now.
But so Ayana is headed to jail, right, for her 15-day stint. So remember last week she was sentenced to her 15 days and the 4 years probation. So she's getting ready for that 15-day stint. And it seems like she's really upset that she's not going to be able to talk to Jamal without a middle person, right? So I don't know. She was like in the car giving her mom hints that the middle person, she wanted her to be the middle person for the phone calls, but she's really upset that she can't talk to Jamal. But she's getting ready and she says she has some stacks ready to leave for her kids, for her mom that's keeping the kids. And so we did see her put a stack of dirty ones on the table.
Was ones.
It was all one.
It was ones. What is she gonna get them? They're gonna eat what's that $5 pizza ready and hot every day?
Yeah, it was a stack of ones. And I'm thinking to myself, do strippers not have bank accounts? Did she not have Cash App? She couldn't have Venmo'd her mom. Did she really have to give her those dirty ones? That's really the equivalent of this one time when I was at work, my boss asked me to go pick up her lunch and she gave me like $20 in change and was like, will you go and pick up lunch? And when I saw those ones, I thought about that because where is she going with all those ones?
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say nothing there. Because I would not be surprised if I know who you're talking about, but you never know who watches this kind of stuff. So you don't want word to the wise. Don't say any shit that could come back to you later. But I think I know who you're talking about.
Well, this boss, I wouldn't care. We no longer work together. So that'll give you a hint.
Okay.
We no longer work together. So yeah, we're good.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, that's what I thought of when I saw that stack of dirty ones. I'm like, this mom is about to go up there with all these ones, and they're gonna think the mom is a stripper, not Ayana. But anyway.
Sunshine says she doesn't watch the show. She's just here to support both of us. Sunshine, these are life lessons. These are life lessons. I don't know your relationship status, but if you ever stumble up on dating a prisoner, these things will help guide your path, Sunshine.
And you'll be able to peak game. That's what's gonna happen.
we'll help you walk the right path to dating a prisoner.
Because yeah, these people clearly have never watched the show before, right? This is like their first time around. Um, so yeah, so Ayana's on her way to jail. She's, getting this stuff ready. She's saying her goodbyes to the babies, and she's like, I don't want to cry and be all emotional, as if she hasn't been all emotional, the whole season, and really showing her behind and cried before. But when it comes to the kids, she's got to not do all that to make it seem like she's not going to miss them. I don't know.
It was weird. You pointed out last week. She keeps talking about this man and throwing temper tantrums because she's not going to be able to talk to him, but we see her very little talk about her multiple very small children. It wasn't until we physically saw the child that we saw her show any type of like, oh, I'm going to miss my baby. But everything for the cameras is about her dude in jail.
Yeah, she'll randomly mention the kids, like I think last week she may have said, oh no, I have to do something for the kids. It's just like in passing, it is mostly about the Jamal. And I get it that the show is Love After Lockup. It is based on, her relationship with the man, but seeing as though it's her real life, the kids should have a bigger role. I would think she would, talk about them just a little bit more, but yeah,
she's a damn fool. She's never said anything about the damn children. She said, I'm not going to be able to have Jamal when I come out. You got locked up for 15 days because you were driving under the influence. This wasn't like people picking on you. You like my brain hurts. Okay.
I mean, she totally didn't understand the concept of, she doesn't understand why driving while high is illegal. Like, to her, that was like, this is normal. People should be able to do this. I don't understand why it's a problem. And she's done it multiple times. This was not her first offense, right? Like, she's done this before. You knew it was against the law and you still did it again. And then you get mad and upset when you get caught. Like, I don't know why this happens. Like, we know why it happens, Ayana.
Well, okay. So now that I'm covering all this stuff on a deep level, do you think that she gets high to disassociate herself from what she's doing when she's dancing for those ones?
I don't think that just smoking marijuana does that. I think maybe she would have to get on something a little bit stronger. I mean,
we don't know what she was on.
She said it was marijuana. Oh, we're not supposed to believe her? We're not.
I'm just saying it could be something more or whatever, or maybe, I don't know. Yeah. I was trying to give her something.
I mean, it could be. Some people self-medicate. She clearly has some issues beyond, just her relationship with Jamal. Like, she's got some other stuff going on. I mean, case in point, and I was going to touch on this. Huh?
Her titty tattoo?
Yeah, beyond that as well.
Okay.
Like the way she talks to her mom, right? Like when she's in the car with her mom, like she's a really nasty person to her mom. And I don't know if you guys remember when she was dropping her off at the jail, and I was going to get, more into that. She goes to drop her off at the jail, and the mom is like, while you're in your cell, you need to make sure that you think about what you've done, like maybe you'll learn a lesson. And she looks at her mom and she's like, girl, bye. Like, who tells their mom, girl, bye, after she's dropping you off at prison, keeping both your kids while you're in prison, keeps one of them most of the time? Like, you would have a little bit more respect for this woman. I mean, she seemed to be very nice. Granted, I don't know the rest of their relationship, but come on now. Like, she's a really nasty person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The other thing that I noticed about this part was that I didn't realize that the jail was allowing her to bring her personal items with her. Like, is that normal?
I haven't been.
But yeah, she was like, oh, I have to stop at the store. She forgot to get her personal items. I mean, she was so concerned about going to see Jamal, and getting other things together. She didn't get a chance to go and get her personal items, but she said she was able to bring, like, I guess, like body wash with what's her name couldn't bring with her, like, pajamas, things like that. So that was kind of odd, but maybe it's a different kind of jail. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, I've never heard of that either, but I'm not a big proponent for me taking care of criminals. And I get extremely mad at people who are in the prison system for long amounts of time because taxpayers have to pay for that. So if you need to supply your own toothpaste and stuff so that whomever the taxpayers are in that state aren't doing it, then go for it.
I agree. I thought about that too. I was like, that's a really good idea. You already have these things at home. You might as well take it with you. And I don't know why she was going to go buy it. Like, I'm sure you have pajamas, toothpaste, and all those other things at home. Like, why didn't you pack a bag?
No, I'm sure
I think she said she had to go to the store. Like, she was running.
She
Huh?
has lingerie at home, but like plain. I'm sure she's busting it wide open. If you guys don't watch the show, let me tell you one little tidbit before I let Reddit Lane move on. She was extremely happy to see her man. So she finger popped herself and was going to put it in his mouth so he could taste her coochie. That's what we learned the first episode that I watched. So she's that kind of girl.
Yeah, that's Ayana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, Novella House says she wonders if they actually did speak about the children, but the producers edited the scenes to steer the narrative of a trash show. And that's true. I think they do edit, the show in a way that makes her look a certain way. And maybe she did say more about the kids. But the way it looks now, she seems to care a lot more about Jamal than she does about those kids.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, so I don't know.
A temper tantrum, Novella. So the temper tantrum was definitely about Jamal.
Yeah.
After she got off the phone with the judge, because she realized that if she, is on probation, she may not be able to be, where he stays when he comes out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ayana, I think this week is supposed to be the last episode of the season. So she's going into jail. I don't know if we're going to see any more of her, or maybe they're going to do a follow-up, but she was walking into jail. Maybe they are going to wait the 15 days. And when she comes out, they'll film again. So we'll see what happens with her next week.
I'm thinking that this is her pathway to Jocelyn's cabaret. I'm thinking it's her pathway to the cabaret.
I could see her on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are they filming again right now?
Jocelyn had quit the show, or she was fired, and she was going to be doing a male cabaret, and this was going to be on another app, and that was supposed to be the breakout thing for that app. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if the show was trash, but now she's back on Zeus filming the new season of Jocelyn's Cabaret. So like nothing had ever happened.
Wow. You may be right. You may be right. So let's see. So let's go on to Shanta and True. And let me pull this picture up.
Mm-hmm. My favorites.
Yeah, that is your favorite. Hold on. Let me stop my screen share.
Meaning none of us knew that you could bring that to jail. And yes, it is the type of show that talks about finger popping. This girl, while she's bringing that up, that last girl that we were talking about, her best friend is one of the people from Jocelyn's Cabaret. So her talking about sticking her finger in herself and making her boyfriend taste it at the jail, knowing she's going to get in trouble for it, it's that kind of show. It is definitely that kind of show.
Yeah. When you think of trash TV, this is it. So on to our friends Shanta and True, right? So Shanta this week is telling her kids about her visit to with True's mother and sister. And she's explaining to the kids that they were trying to warn her about True, and that she doesn't really know True, and that she's going to find out when he gets out. Like, she's really alluding to the fact that they know that something's going on with True that, they're not telling her. And, she's really standing by him. Like, she's like, I'm going to stick beside my man either way. Right. She's not giving any merit to it. Now, she does say that she's going to talk to him about it. However, when he calls, there was no confrontation at all. Like, she had nothing to say to him about it. It went on to like, what I'm going to do to you when you get home. And I mean, it was this whole love conversation as if the whole thing had never happened. So I don't think she's ever going to confront him about it. And she may know something's going on, but she's not going to confront him about it at all. And it was really weird because they got into all this dirty talk. And I'm thinking to myself, are the kids still sitting there? But luckily they panned over and the kids had left. I don't know at what point the kids left, but they left and it was just the two of them talking.
Would you be surprised? She talks to her children about their relationship issues.
Yeah, the 16-year-old seems to be like really into it, because he mentioned, I'm going to confront him or I'm going to ask him myself. And it's like, okay, it's really not your place. You know, if your mom wants to play the fool, let her play the fool. Don't get into it. But she allows him to play that role. You know, he was the one who put the ring on her finger. Like, he seems to play a big part in their relationship. And, you know, that's something that seems to be key in all of these relationships. These people really push the kids into it, you know, like it'll be them, but they have the kids calling the men dad. And it's just kind of odd, you know, that they put that in there. It doesn't seem to happen so much.
Odd for the ones who aren't paying the bills. The one who's paying the bills, she's probably like, call that nigga whatever you want, whatever he wants you to call him, as long as I don't care if he got them cameras. But True ain't paying nothing. Shanta thinks that True is God's gift to women. He really is very turned on by him. It don't matter if he doesn't even like black girls. That's the crazy part.
The one thing that I did get, and it gave me a little bit of insight, and that was like on a more serious note, when she talked about getting, and I can use the word because I'm not really monetized, but when she was raped by her coworker, and she said that True was really there for her, and he talked her through it, and he was like, you know, her support system after that when she was going through a dark time. And I think that has a lot to do with why she is so devoted and dedicated to him, right? Because he was there for her when she felt like she really needed it.
But I mean, with that trauma bond, is he sharing an experience of himself getting taken advantage of? Probably not.
No.
And he is a active listener because she's putting money on his commissary.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
It's not like this, you know, very righteous person, this freedom fighter who just happens to be incarcerated. No, this is a ninja who looks like Nene Leak's son, who has multiple women sending him crotch shots in prison, and he's stringing this woman along. So she is devoted in a way, or connected in a way, that I don't think is real. It's real for her, but for him, what is a prisoner going to do except sit on the phone and, what is it called? Not love bomb. There's some other term that is, it's like prison talk, jail talk you. You went through something horrible. He was there, but he was a captive listener.
Well, I mean, and I get that, and you and I can see that on the outside looking in, but I'm saying from her perspective, when she gave us that insight into why, you know, she developed the bond that she did, that was why. I think it was because of the fact that she felt like he was there for her. I don't think that his intentions were good at all, but I do think that from her perspective, you know, she saw it as, okay, this person was here to help me. I'm going to stick beside him and I'm going to help him. Because, you know, everybody is telling her that this is not the person for her, that he's not a really good person. And she's, you know, all the way like, oh no, I'm going to stay with him. You know, I'm going to be okay with this. I'm not going to confront him about the lies that he's told right to my face, you know, about me to his mom and to his sister. Like, I'm not going to do any of that, you know?
I'm going to make him like black women. Ain't that what
right?
I'm going to make this mine. Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't even want to stay with you when he gets out.
Right. And you wouldn't move places, like you moved states to grab a place for him to live, you know?
It's sad. It's actually sad.
Yeah.
Somebody said in the chat, she looked like his mama.
She looks like the mom? Yeah. I gotta go back and look at the mom, and I wish I had brought
No, she's saying that Shanta looks like she could be True's mom.
It could be, but hold on, because remember you had the you told us about the hairline last time, and I saw this picture and I was like, okay, I'm gonna share this one because
both the hairlines are here.
It's a much better picture of the hairline. And I was like, okay. Here we go. See, now you can see it much better than in the original picture.
I'll be right back. Hold on. Continue on without me. I'll be right back.
Okay. So yeah, this is just a much better picture of True. And it looks like it matches Shantae a little bit more. But I'm going to go on because that's all that really happened this week with Shantae and True. And we're going to go on to Tenny and Rob. So hold on. Let me pull the picture up. Who do you have on your profile picture here? Let's see. So Tenny and Rob. This week, it's 1 week until Rob's release, right? Shreen. Okay, so it's Tenny and Rob. So we have 1 week till Rob's release. And again, we go with the cameras. We're in the house and we see the kids and they're getting ready for school. And Rob is watching through the cameras, right? Here's Rob watching through the cameras, and the little boy is eating something on the couch. And he yells out, oh, you're not supposed to be eating on the couch. So he just kind of sits there for a little bit, but it pans over then to the kids and they start talking about how they're afraid that once Rob gets out, what kind of disciplinarian is he going to be? Because he seems to be on them a lot through those cameras, right? So after he doesn't get off the couch the first time, he comes back out and he's like, oh, okay, well, you need to drop and give me 10 push-ups. And it's like, why is it that you're so obsessed with watching people and putting people in their place? Like, I think he has some sort of like, I don't know, something with his ego to me is not right. Like, he thinks he's the man and he needs to run and control everything. These kids are going to have a really hard time when Rob gets out. But I don't know that he's short. I think that when I saw when he's standing there, I haven't really seen him standing next to anyone, so I can't really tell if he's short. So I don't know if it's little man syndrome or not. But again, he just seems to have control issues. And it's hard to see these kids because it's like they're so sweet and they're so polite and they're so nice. And they are really concerned with whether or not, he's going to be a staunch disciplinarian once he gets out, and how their lives are going to be when he gets out. Because I think the mom's just going to roll over and let him do whatever. Like, she lets him run it now. So what's to say that she's not going to be the same way once he gets out of prison? But that watching them for 24/7, I have a real problem with that. It's really crazy to me.
She actually surprised me this week.
Why do you say that?
Because she was on, like, I thought that maybe she was just a gold digger. You know what I mean? Like, smartly using him.
Mm-hmm.
But this week, she literally was upset at him because he wasn't calling her as much. So it's mutual. Like, she really does just like him.
I don't know. I can't say because I'm seeing it both ways from her. I can see her being, the gold digger, but
she was upset that he did not call her like he was supposed to. And usually, if they are the ones that want the money, then you would think, sorry, you can't hear me. Usually,
I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Usually, if they are the ones that want the money, then they wouldn't give a damn if you're calling or not.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I mean, I don't know. I do think she's kind of, he's taking care of everything. So it has to be, that is a benefit to her. And she is abusing that a bit by, oh, I'm going to use his money for this. And you can tell, like, he doesn't know how much money she's spending. Just going back to all of that leads me to believe that she's, more of a gold digger than what she would like actually let on. Right.
Seeing those old pictures of her, I was like, she's really come up because she looks really pretty here. But those old pictures they showed of her, it's a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, those old pictures did, like the ones when they were in high school.
Yeah,
she did. She does look a lot better. I mean, I think she's pretty, and I actually really like that top, and not just because I have one like that.
I had a little Shanta True moment.
Oh no!
This is where I feel like they're winning. So, right? Like can you put up the photo?
Why did I know you were up to something foolish? Hold on. Let me go back to the screen.
You are like literally 69 people away from monetization.
What? Hold on. Let me share my screen. I should have been toasting it up with you.
Yeah, I think this is about right. Oh no, it's too close. No, hold on. That's
yeah, you needed it farther back. Yeah, you need some of your haircut. That part.
Yeah, hold on. I can't get this right. I don't have enough hair to hold it like that.
See, you can't do True. You can't be True.
Okay. I think I kind of got it a little better. It'd be like this. It's like the Stevie Wonder. Right? Like it's the Stevie. And then we went and did her. She cut her hair, which I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
too many women who will cut their edges, you know, to then shave it, to then have her braids start back there as well. So I think they're a match made in heaven, but he don't like black women.
I want him to get a white woman to do the haircut.
I'm sure he could find a Kim Kardashian
that would do that same haircut. That's what I'm waiting for.
I could see. I keep telling you, I could see him dating. What's her name's friend who was on Jocelyn's Cabaret? That's probably his actual type.
Right. I forgot her name. Was it Lexi? Is it Lexi? I can't remember it.
Somebody said I need boobs. No, I work out. I have a chest. I don't.
To match him, she means.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, we'll keep it like that for the rest. Mm-hmm.
Hold on, where are we? Okay, so back to Tenny and Rob, because I don't think we finished with them. Hold on. We got cut short.
Sorry.
Okay, so back to Tenny and Rob. Yeah, so then the other thing that he was talking about, because I was going to go back to this when I was talking about how I thought he had a big ego, right? And I think somebody in the chat said narcissist, and that's what I'm thinking he is. But if you heard how he mentioned that he has so much temptation in prison, and that all of these guards are trying to get with him, sir, I would hope that you have made plenty of friends with the guards and everyone else there after your 16-year stint. But I'm sure everybody in prison doesn't want you.
Maybe he's tricking off money.
Again, back to and I think somebody said before on the last episode that he had some other business outside of the poker games that he claims to have played and made all this money in prison. So maybe you're right. But yeah, so anyway, she's on her way this week to go pick Rob up. And that's how the show really ends, is her, running to go meet him outside of the prison. So clearly he gets out, and we'll see what happens next week with the two of them. So next we're going to go on to, and did you have anything else about Tenny and Rob? Did you have any more comments?
No, I heard you. It was super, super weird to me, to be honest with you. It's super, super weird to have anybody watch you on camera. Like, even in my home, it was a big fight with like the people who do the security system, because I was like, I don't want the security system. I know that it has to point towards my front door, but what if I just want to walk around naked? And I know that they were saying that those security systems you can tap into those.
Right.
Like, just the people who work at the security system can tap into it. And I'm not trying to give any free shows. You got to take me to dinner first, at least.
Yeah, I don't want the cameras in the house at all. Like, I feel like it's such an invasion of privacy. Like,
So what if her daughter wants to walk around naked one day, or doesn't have a top on or something like that? Like, in your own home, you should feel a certain amount of freedom. And these people do not know you technically.
Okay, well, let me say this. We lived in the same home. I never walked around topless as a kid. Like, nobody's doing that.
No, but we lived in a very, very, very conservative household. When we would go spend the summers at our grandmother's house, she didn't want us to watch Star Trek because they would sometimes have on like a bra or a bathing suit. So we didn't live like a lot of people, but like a lot of people do walk around in just a t-shirt and underwear or something like that. That girl can't be walking around like that around this prisoner.
Right. That's true. Well, even with the cameras on, there's, this is the prisoner we know. There's other prisoners there that we don't know, right? That we don't know who can see what's going on.
That is so weird. You just freaked me out. I didn't even think about that. That is gross.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's making his money by allowing the prisoners to watch these people. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. It could be.
Oh, one part that I remembered that I thought was kind of weird was he was saying something about the cameras are going to be off, or he can't have his phone. And she was like, so you're not going to have your phone. To me, that also said that she doesn't mind that setup, because if you really felt like you were under his thumb, with him watching you and your children 24/7, then you would want that phone to be gone. You would want the contraband to be gone.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think that she is okay with it. I'm more so concerned about the kids with them, having to be watched, and they have no way to consent to this or not. This man is watching them, and it has to be eerie and creepy to hear a voice just yell out like, "Get off the couch with the food." Like, that is so weird. Not only
Why are
that,
you making the boy do jumping jacks but not her?
huh?
Why are you making the boy do jumping jacks and not her?
Oh, when the little girl was sitting on I think it was because the boy didn't listen at first. Like, he sat there for a minute. The first time he told him to get up, he didn't. And so I think it was because, he was bucking the system and didn't get up initially, like as soon as he wanted him to. And that's why he made the boy do the push-ups or whatever he had done.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the cameras again, I was going to say they can't have friends over, it's like they can't have a normal like childhood and do things that they would normally do because you have this man watching with these cameras.
I also feel like, they say a lot of times that, boys need a male figure in the house. And I would absolutely agree with that. I do think that children with both parents do have somewhat of an advantage, even just being able to witness a healthy relationship.
Right.
But the things that he's saying, maybe he's just very adult like I was, but it feels like he's being fed the correct things to say about having a man in the house. Does it ever seem like he's too in the know? I'm waiting for my father to come out of jail. Like when you told me to watch this, I assumed that this was this boy's biological father.
Yeah.
I haven't had a father around, and I'm going to learn to exercise like him. And I'm like, I feel like the mom is feeding him these things.
I absolutely think that. And I think she's doing that with the both of them.
Trap House said a positive role model, not a prisoner.
Right. Like, this man is not the one that you want as a role model for your son, and like I said, they seem to be such good kids. I don't know what kind of influence this man would be on him,
Yeah. I would feel so weird if I was the kids when are you so excited he's getting out? Why the hell would I be excited? This is your man. The hell?
But again, I think they really love the mom. So it's like, she's excited, so I'm excited, right? Because that's the kind of kid he seems to be. It doesn't seem like, he's really going to be excited about him getting out because, like I said, they did discuss the fact that, I don't know how it's going to be when he gets here, when he lives here. They're kind of nervous about it. Is he going to be a strict disciplinarian? Like, they just really want to know what it's going to be like actually having to live with him,
He's going to be a discipline. If he's disciplining you from prison, what the hell? Okay, so you, my friends, don't watch this. I got a friend with a prison nigga. And we went on a vacation with like a big group of friends. And from prison, he called when we went and we picked her up from the airport.
Right.
She's all excited. She's never been to Miami before. And I've been to Miami so many times, I can show you like what you need to see in Miami, like the good food, the Cuban food, all those things. So she's super excited. I'm really the only person in this friend group who had been to Miami. He calls her when she is at the airport. We pick her up. On the ride from Fort Lauderdale to Miami, he calls her again. We can't get inside our hotel rooms because it's too early, so we go to a mall. He calls her at the mall. And by this fourth call, I'm like, I'm comfortable saying I'm a perceptive person.
Yeah.
And so I told one of my friends, the Asian who you said gets red when he drinks, that guy, I told him, I was like, I feel like he's controlling her from prison. And my friend was like, no. I just think, he has a contraband phone. He's checking up on his girl. I was like, no, I feel like this is control. And not 10 minutes later, it's a huge blow up fight. Get the F off my phone. You're trying to ruin my trip. And it literally was a situation with a prisoner who was upset that you're living your life.
Right.
And I'm going to control your trip. We were at a club and she was on FaceTime with her boyfriend.
Wow.
They do that. They literally do try. Okay, I'm sorry. I digress.
No, and I've seen a lot of that. Haha. Yeah, somebody says his eyebrows say a lot. Yeah, his eyebrows do say a lot.
It was Charlie Chapman. That's what I was trying to say. His eyebrows look like Charlie Chapman's beard. Her mustache.
Mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. Like I said, I thought, remember they were on the middle of my pyramid only because they had that history. Because we knew that they had like been childhood sweethearts and they knew them, each other beforehand. They have gotten married. She stuck beside him, through these years in prison. Scared for the kids, but we'll see. We'll see what happens to them. Yeah, he'll be out next week, so we'll see what that's like. Okay, so now we're going to go on to Andrew, aka Nomi, and Candace. So let me pull up their picture. So those of you who don't know who they are can see a picture. So I'm going to get better at this on the screen. I'm much better at Teams.
For you guys who don't know this is not how I would normally wear this wig. I'm wearing this wig because this is how the cast members, True and Shanta, wear their dreads.
Well, I hope you're not normally wearing the wig. That's what I'm going to.
Why did I have the wig on? I think it was Halloween. Yeah, I was Aquaman in this wig. But I might reuse it and be Lenny Kravitz since I'm also a virgin like him. Practically a virgin.
Ever be Lenny Kravitz in that wig?
I could be Lenny Kravitz in this wig.
I'm gonna need you to get a better wig for Lenny. Okay, so we got Andrew and Candace, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and Candace has to go check in with, I guess, the PO, right? And they go get something to eat. But for this episode, she's really kind of, letting him know in her own way, well, actually pretty blatantly, that she does not want to be with him, that he's making her uncomfortable, that this is not working for her. I'm
sorry. Is somebody angrily making food in your house?
Is somebody
they're slamming the hell out of whatever they're cooking?
Could somebody get out of the kitchen? I didn't think you could hear that.
I could hear. I don't know if the people could hear it, but I could hear it.
Yeah, so she's going to get something to eat. Hopefully the person in the kitchen will stop. Anyway. So yeah, she's telling him that this is too much for her, that prison was easier and that she wants space, right? And he's really just like, oh, is this going to work out? But do you still love me? And she's like, yeah, I still love you. She's constantly asking and needing this, he needs reassurance from her that she still loves him, right? And she goes into her confessional piece and she's like, this is really making her uncomfortable. This is triggering, like Andrew is triggering for her. And it's basically, to me, makes her want to, go use drugs, is what she's trying to say. She's acting like, this is really pushing me. I'm getting really anxious. I can't be around you. This is way too much for me.
I respect a lot more this episode.
Yeah. So basically, she's trying to say that she can't be with him, right? And he's thinking it's because of the lie that she told previously, which is that, well, I don't want to say the abuse was a lie, but the reason or the excuse that she gave, that she had been abused in the past. And that's why she's having issues. She's been in really bad relationships and that's why she doesn't want to be with him. When clearly the problem is she just doesn't want to be with Andrew. It's Andrew. It's not anything that's been in her past. It's not her son. It's not her having been in prison. It's not the drugs. She just doesn't like this man. She used him while she was in prison. She got all this stuff and now she got out and she needs to pay the piper and she's not willing to do that.
You think he has a small one?
Well, I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah.
I mean, I'm a very realistic person. She's just getting out of prison. She probably wants to sow her oats, but she has this little dude sitting next to her. And he gives me the type of dude who perfects their, everything else. Like, I'm going to buy you. I'm going to do all these things because I have kind of like Mia's husband from Potomac. He went out and he bought a stripper because he knew that he could not actually perform.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just realistic. In my opinion, I think that physically he's not what she likes, in probably more ways than one. And now, like you said, it's time to pay the piper. And she said, return the sender.
Absolutely. But I mean, just looking at her, she's probably been with some men she hasn't wanted to, that probably wasn't her type before. This woman doesn't look like she, was real choosy when it comes to men. Like,
she was a Fast and the Furious girl. She probably was. She was probably living her best life.
I don't know. But she finally gets, she gets to him and she tells him, basically like, we can't be together. This is not going to work. Right. So he goes to drop her off and he's like, well, do you still love me again? And she's like, yeah, I still love you. He was like, she asked if he wanted the ring back. She told him he could take the truck back. Figure out what to do with the apartment. She was like, I'm just done. Right. Like, I can't take this. I can't do it anymore. No. And so he's like, okay.
Read Bonji's comment. Put it up on the screen if you can. You just have to click on it. Bonji 40.
Wait, how do you do that?
You just click on it.
Oh, here it is. He reminds me of people from Narnia.
I was trying to figure out where I felt like I saw him from. I literally was trying to figure that out. And I couldn't.
That is absolutely true.
I could not place it until now. Bonji, you are spot on. Can you make that bigger? Can you make it bigger? You click on my image and
hold on. It has like the little 3 dots and it says solo layout.
Solo layout. This is who he reminds me of. That's exactly who he reminded me of. You can exit the solo layout. You were right, Bonji.
Yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, so the next they go into her what do you call this? The confessional, right? And they're asking her, did you just use Andrew? And y'all, it was so crazy when I saw, here we go again. We got another picture.
That's who he remind. If you've ever been to one of those festivals that they have, if you've ever been to one of those festivals,
like the Renaissance,
like the Renaissance Festival, it will be full of Andrews. Now, I go to the Renaissance Festival, so I'm not saying I go to those. I think those are kind of cool, but Andrew would be the one who gets dressed up. You could take me out of solo layout. Andrew would be the one that gets dressed up and let me stop. I'm done. Poor Andrew.
Yeah. So she's in her confessional, right? And they're asking her. And I was like, you can literally see the mask come off her face, right? Like it literally falls off when she's like, I just do what I need to get what I want. Candace, we knew this about you all along. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. And then they go over to where she's standing out there on the phone talking to her friend. And the friend is telling her, like, asking her what's going on. And she's like, we need to stick to the plan. So I'm just wondering now, what plan did you and your friend have? Like, were you guys going to fleece this guy for everything that he had? Like, it was a plan from the beginning. And then you get out, see the man in real life, and you're like, I absolutely just can't do that.
The friend was probably the lover.
That's what I'm thinking. And if anybody's watched this show previously, if you'll remember, there was the whole scene with Amber and Puppy and the guy that she saw when she got out of prison. And they had like this whole plan. And it was weird. Like he was going to adopt one of the prisoners and they were going to be able to get his military benefits. It was really, really crazy. But it reminded me a lot of this, right? Like it was some sort of plan that they had to like fleece this guy for all his money. But again, she didn't even ask. She couldn't even take it upon herself to ask him for it. Like, well, maybe I can keep the truck or maybe I'll keep the apartment. She could not even play along. Like her disgust for him was so bad that she couldn't even play the game to keep the stuff that she had.
I think differently. I think that what she wanted him to say was, you can keep the truck. When she was like, you can have the truck back and I guess we'll have to talk about the apartment. I really, in my heart of heart, felt like she thought that she had him so wrapped around that she was going to be able to keep the stuff, and his dumb ass was going to say, whatever I can do to support you, even if it's not be with you. And that nigga said, no, can I have my stuff? I was proud of him.
I think if she was playing the game better, she would have said to him, well, I'll keep the truck for a little while, or she would have tried to keep it. Because, I mean, the way he was looking, I didn't think he was going to go along with it.
But he did say, do you still love me? So that
Yeah.
keeps the door open. I'm telling you, I really feel like her thought was, I'll be able to keep the shit and just tell him that I'm so overwhelmed with my son that I didn't have before I went to prison.
Could be.
So overwhelmed with everything. I think that she thought that she'd be able to work him some more. And I was very proud of his little ass when he said, okay, so you're going to give me back everything? And are you with me for the things?
That's true. He did ask the question. And it's funny because someone else put a note in the chat from last week's recap. And they mentioned that Candace was married to somebody else. I was like, oh, I got to go look that up, right? So I went to go look it up, and it doesn't say that she's married to someone else, but I did find her Facebook page, and she is in a relationship with someone else.
She is my sister, y'all. Nosy and a little messy and ratchet for watching this stuff.
Yeah, so I did find that she is in a relationship with someone else. And apparently Andrew has a new girlfriend that's been, sending her text messages and going off about that. But I don't know. And Autumn's mom says, yeah, she heard she's married to someone else now. So she may be married to him, but her Facebook status, and I think she's been in Facebook as of I want to say it was March.
Is Andrew's girlfriend inflatable or artificial intelligence?
Somebody said the girlfriend is actually him pretending to be the girlfriend.
The issue that I had, I mean, and all jokes aside, cut out the Casamigos. The issue that I had with him is you have to read the room. You were trying to fix somebody. She didn't say she wanted to be fixed. Or I don't know if the jailhouse talk had him believing that, but you were getting into a relationship with somebody. You are not fixing them as a person. And maybe if he would have backed off, she doesn't want him, but for future reference, back off a little bit.
Yeah, he's very clingy. He's very clingy and needy. And it really is. I can see, Candace is a horrible person. We all know that. But he gets on my nerves. He would literally get on my nerves with, do you still love me, every 5 minutes? Are you kidding me? It's a lot. He's a really needy person.
I hate to say it, but I'm Team Candace for this episode. I don't know that I could have done it either. No amount of money. He's the type of person where, and I hope that if some of y'all in the chat, you don't take offense. He's the type of person where if your wife is going to the grocery store, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to arrange my hours at work so that I can take you to work. You don't have to drive. When you're in the bathroom, I'm going to say, are you okay? Do you need a laxative? Is everything all right in there? A tampon, heating pad, you okay? Some Midol, you okay? I arranged for you to go get your hair done, but I'm gonna sit in the shop with you while it's getting done. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, I think that's what they call that is the golden retriever. He's like the ultimate golden retriever, but to the extreme. I'm good with a golden retriever.
With the body of a chihuahua.
I'd be perfectly fine with him, but he's way too much. He's way too much. And I think it's, he doesn't probably believe that, this is probably his dream girl, right? Looking at him, she's probably the woman that he could never have. And he feels like he has this woman now, right? And he's going to do whatever it is to try to keep her and, make sure that she still loves him and wants to be with him. And yes, Kimberly said smothering. Yeah, he's absolutely smothering. Yeah, it's smothering. But yeah, we'll see. I hope next week they give us a little bit more insight into what the plan was, because I'm really interested in what that was. Okay, so we're going to move on to Rick and Samantha. Let me take the picture down.
I feel like in another life, Samantha would have been a Real Housewife of Orange County. Had she
I think
had she
so.
had she made the right moves? Have you seen those women? This is Vicky Gunvalson without the business.
That's true.
An older drunk who goes from man to man, husband to husband, whooping it up. Yes. Had the only thing separating Samantha from all of the housewives of Orange County is money. That's it.
Right. And her career goals of being in jewelry, selling jewelry, and writing the book.
That is the housewife. Tell me I'm that is the housewife playbook.
That is absolutely. I could see it. So this week, last week, of course, they had the wedding, right? And they got married last week. And so this week, what did they say? Hold on. I have Rick and Samantha. They get to he gets to the center. I don't know if they actually got married last week or they got married this week. I want to say that they got married this week, right? And they kind of got to the end of it because they had the car that they got into, the Uber that was decorated with the just married stuff and the cans on the back of it. So they did just get married in this episode.
But there was like a 6-week span though, right?
Right. And then they go, and that's what kind of confused me a little bit. So then they go into the next 6 weeks. So they go into 2 weeks after the wedding, and it looks like, things are going bad for them. They're not getting along. He's seeing some things about Samantha that he didn't like before. One of which being, like I mentioned, her not wanting to have a real job or a job that's bringing in any money. She wants to actually create or make jewelry and write a book, so he's not on board with that. He's not liking that. And I think they go 5 weeks out and they really just don't even, he doesn't even want to talk to her. She calls and he's like, what do you want really? In the middle of the call, the ex-woman from the reunion is calling him. So he's actually, talking to other women. I don't know what's going to happen with these two.
The most I can say is I'm glad that he is definitely on the path of staying sober.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Samantha is going to be it for him for life, but him and Samantha they seem very clingy, like the type who need to be in a relationship. So those are the type of people who fall in love very, very quickly, but it's fleeting. It's not real. It's companionship, but not necessarily companions that are compatible.
Yeah.
That's what I get from them. The only compatibility was they liked a bit of liquor. And now they're both going to be sober. So where does that leave you? Is she going to be out fishing with him? No.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel sorry for Rick.
Rick
I don't know what he thought he was getting when he got Samantha, but I think he's truly like seeing her for something different now.
It's all you're probably not gonna like this. I think that Rick would have fell in line if he had gotten that conjugal visit at the marriage.
You think so?
Women can do whatever they want. You see what happened to Candace and what's his name? The treasure or the garden gnome?
Nomi, yeah.
What's his real name?
Andrew. Is it Andrew?
He did all that in the hopes of being able to just touch that woman. Right? If Samantha was out and Samantha was able to use her womanly wiles to tell him, I don't want to work, I'm going to, follow my creative path. Your average everyday Rick is going to allow the woman to do that.
I don't know though, because Rick seemed like in his younger partying days, he was a bit of a playboy, and Rick has options. We saw from the reunion, Rick has options.
That woman don't look like Samantha. Samantha looks like a good time. That lady looked like she had on some support hose and a kitten heel. Samantha.
He had a couple of ladies though. I mean, they were all talking about it, but there were a couple of them that, were looking at Rick. So I'm thinking Rick has options.
Samantha's the bad girl. If Rick wanted that woman who's going to be making him peach cobbler, he would be with her. He's waiting for this woman to get out of prison.
And this is just my opinion. I think Rick has had that woman. Samantha's in prison, right? He has gotten married. I think Rick had a little bit of a bachelor party probably before the wedding, and he got that woman.
How is Rick the prize?
We got to see everybody else at that high school.
It was like the 50-year reunion, right? Or something like that. It was like 50 years.
I don't know if it was 40 or 50 years, but something like that. It has to. I mean, by the looks of them,
Oh, maybe 40, because that would mean you're 18, so 58. Yeah, that woman then had her children. That woman probably puts raisins in her potato salad, and it's the talk of the church. And Rick is the bad boy to her, but the bad boys don't want the good girl. The
But
bad
wait,
boys
this is
want
the same
Samantha.
woman who said, you know, what did she say? If you haven't had a DUI, you haven't lived. Like, this is the same woman who made that comment.
I don't think that
She's the
that
same
woman is a
woman
Samantha.
who got it in the back of the car with Rick. Do we remember that too?
That was in her glory days. She can't bend like that no more. Samantha can.
You got a lot of faith in Samantha.
I just feel like there's a lot of people like the bad person, like opposites attract and everything. To that woman, Rick is still the bad guy. You know, the woman, the man who had her bent up like a pretzel in high school. So she's
Right.
living that. Rick didn't live a long, hard life, partying, doing whatever, and he's needing his sobriety. But I think Samantha is still his connection to that old part of his life.
Yeah, could be.
Autumn says she definitely wasn't given church lady. You would be surprised what I know about the church ladies, Autumn.
Yeah, that lady wasn't given church lady. I'm gonna agree with Autumn. I don't think she was given. I'm thinking she's giving good time lady. That's what she's giving. She likes to have a good time. I mean, the way her face lit up when Rick's coming. You remember all that? And she's been calling him because remember she called when he was with the sister and the niece, and then she called this week. So this woman has been calling.
I just think that Rick wants the bad girl, and once Samantha can come out of prison and kind of like lay down the rules of the house, there is a lot of power in being a woman. There's a reason that, you know, all these old tropes of, you know, the man does this and the woman does that. F all that. If you are in a relationship with a healthy sex life, that's half the battle. And I wouldn't, you know, being practically a virgin, I don't know about that, but I'm just saying that is half the battle. Money and a normal active sex life at any age, you know, like the people in their 80s are the highest, 80s, and people in nursing home are the highest STD risk.
I saw that.
For a reason. I think that she's going to get out of jail and she's going to have him wrapped around her finger.
We'll see. Now, I did try to research a little bit to find out whether or not they were still together, and I couldn't really find much on Rick and Samantha. I'm guessing they don't do social media.
All right, like they are people of a certain age. Rick likes to fish. Now, if Samantha was actually doing a book, it would be smart for her to ramp up her social media. That would only make sense.
Yeah.
If she wanted to.
Summer Sunshine said Rick gets threatened every time he goes on social media. I got to look that up. I got to find it because I haven't seen Rick on social media.
Summer, who's threatening him? Like people or Samantha?
Somebody said she needs to come out in 1982.
Or with the hair?
Yes.
That might bring him back to his glory days. So wait, okay, so if they like the 40, they're 58, right? So in the 80s, that's like 40 years ago. So the 80s was their heyday. That was their teens and their 20s.
Yeah, they were living it up in the 80s.
He probably likes it. Some stonewashed jeans, a mullet.
Summer Sunshine says she's threatening him every time he goes on social media. Oh, she's threatening him every time he goes on social media. She's got some trust issues.
Yeah, I don't like Samantha, just to be honest with you. I hope you don't think that I'm siding with her in this. I just feel like that was very telling when Rick was like, I sure wish we, you know, could have had a conjugal visit. That's for the lifers. So, you know, we'll just have to wait. Like that's, I feel like he was setting the scene for what he wanted. He got her that $50 engagement ring.
And the $500 worth of vitamins.
And the $500 worth of vitamins. He had plans for Samantha. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's a mess.
Let's see.
Side note, am I the only one who really likes that place Sakura in the mall? The place
What's that place?
where you can get like teriyaki chicken or teriyaki chicken and shrimp. You know,
I
you
don't
go in
know.
the mall and they say you want rice, yes. Vegetables, yes. And then
Oh, this place where they have the samples?
yeah.
I only
Why?
eat the samples.
I've been twice this week. As soon as we get off, I'm eating the rest of my Sakura. It makes me excited.
I don't think I knew the name of the place.
Mm-hmm. I know it because I'm gonna download the app to get my discounts.
But I used to get the samples all the time. I wish I had some good Chinese. I haven't had good Chinese in a minute. Okay, hold on. Let me.
Was that our last couple?
No, we got one last couple.
Okay.
We got Joey and Michael.
It just gets worse and worse. Okay.
I mean, we don't have any good couples here.
I don't watch this show, guys. I've only watched the last few episodes. And so whenever she says the next couple, I'm thinking, okay, hope for the future. And then we get these two.
So Joey and Michael. So Joey's gonna go meet Michael's mom this week, right? And he meets up with Michael's mom. He goes to her house and she gives him a little bit of background information on Michael. So basically, she hasn't seen him in quite a while because she can't, take it upon herself to go see him in prison. And she reveals that, she has turned him in the past, right? She says that Michael, she's, hopes and that he'll, change his life and, he's take a turn for the better, but he never does. Several times she's thought that he's going to do right and go to rehab, but, it doesn't happen. And she said that, in the past he's had warrants and she's called the police to let them know, like, hey, Michael's here, come pick him up, and they've taken him on to jail. And she's basically at her wit's end, and she wants Michael, I guess, it was the same thing that I think that Shanta and True had going on with when his family was trying to give some background on, the person that was in prison. She was trying to give a little bit of background on Michael and basically saying, I've been where you are and, don't get your hopes up. Right. She doesn't think that he's ready to change yet. And so Joey was basically like, he's taking it all in. He's really kind of like, okay, I'm having second thoughts about this. I don't know if this is going to work out. And I think having talked to the mom and the mom saying that she's been through this before with him, she doesn't think he's ready to change. I really think that that's putting something, on the table for him to really evaluate about his relationship with Michael,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't have any hopes for this couple. His mom is still sick. He's still trying to decide what he wants to do.
Is it even a question? He's not getting out for 6 years potentially.
Right. That's what I was going to say. That was my next thing, was that we don't even know that he is getting out anytime soon,
6 years is a long time. Again, I know people who date people in prison and there's always okay, well, this is the window. If your window is 6 years, I'm thinking that you're still doing drugs in prison. There's no way you have a 6-year window. It's,
yes.
Probation, my probation hearing will come up within the next 6 to 9 months, and then maybe it gets pushed back. But a 6-year window means you probably just aren't getting out for 6 years. And Joey doesn't have the wherewithal to check into it because he could.
Yeah. And again, this man is somebody you just met. Like, you just met him prior to going to prison. Like, it's not like you had some sort of relationship with him before. So this has only been a prison relation. Like, you haven't been in the real world in a relationship with this man. So you really have no kind of foundation for this to grow from, And then you're finding out.
Sex fueled, whatever they did have was sex fueled.
Right.
I'm not sorry. I meant drug fueled. A drug fueled sexual relationship, and now he's a prisoner, and you are standing behind him.
Right. Trying to stay sober. Like, this is crazy.
Joey doesn't even look like he slept in a few months.
He looks like an older version of the garden gnome.
He doesn't look like he slept in a few months, and Michael looks like the killer. Michael looks like every person we've seen on the ID channel.
The Grinch.
Like the killer. Like you wake up one night and Michael's just staring through your window. That's what the creepy perv.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, that was our last couple for this week. And again, like I said, this week is tomorrow actually is gonna be the last episode of the season. So hopefully we'll see what has happened. It'll give us like a, glimpse into what the future of these couples' relationships were.
Oh, the only ones I'm still interested in is the voyeur, the guy who is watching the people.
Tenny and Rob.
Shanta and True. I'm interested in how they proceed forward and if he comes out and gets with the white woman or Hispanic. I feel like he wants anything other than black.
That's what I think too, because he was very specific in his disdain for black women specifically, right? Like he made mention, he didn't say women of color or other, like I only like these. He likes white women and he does not like black women. That's what I got from what he said.
I'm interested in their story. I'm not so interested in Samantha and Rick.
I do kind of want to see if they last. I mean, I want to see how far they get.
To the annulment.
And I actually want to spin off with him and the Uber driver, because the Uber driver, it looks like he has a really good time. Like, I think he's funny.
Okay, I mean, okay. Yeah, no, the only two couples I'm really interested in are those two. I don't even see Joey and Michael. Naomi says they hooked up in jail.
What?
Or maybe she's talking about somebody else. I think she's talking about another gay bisexual couple.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Puppy and Amber earlier. Yeah, so Puppy and Amber were like a gay bisexual couple, but I don't even know if they were a couple, because I don't know if they were in what was considered to be a relationship. They were sleeping together, but I'm not.
I'm gonna get my Sakura now.
Huh?
I'm gonna get my Sakura now.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
So we have one more to do next week, or when is that one? Next week?
Yeah, so the episode is Friday, so we'll do our recap next week.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
for everybody who joined. She is actually, let's see where she's at now. She is 56 people away from her monetization, so that's super close.
Yay!
All right. Well, you guys have a great night.
Have a good evening. Bye.
I'm